Hello, welcome to Griddle Cooking with Chef Sherry Ronning. Have you ever had a smash burger on your griddle? I know this is a pretty popular recipe. Have you ever had a smash burger sandwich on your griddle? Today I'm going to show you how to make a smashed burger patty melt on the Blackstone griddle. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what ingredients you need, what ingredients I'm using. So today I'm doing a double burger. So I'm doing two burger patties. I have my sliced onions that I'm going to use. I have Swiss cheese that I'm going to put on the patties. I'm using like sliced white bread. You can use a thicker white bread also. This is a ciabatta bread, and this is what I'm going to be using to make my sandwich. I also have some butter that I'm going to use a couple different ways, and then you can use your favorite patty melt sauce. And my favorite sauce is lick dab. So if you don't know what lick dab is, we've made this in our family. If you've ever eaten with us, you've been over to our house to eat at my mom and dad's when we were growing up. This was a huge thing. We always had lick dab. So this is what I'm putting on mine. This is my favorite sauce. So I do have this recipe on my website, but it is ketchup and mayo mixed. So we use this for our French fries. I like to put this on my burger. So this is going to be my secret sauce that I'm going to use today. I have my Blackstone griddle preheated at 400 degrees. I'm using the electric Blackstone griddle. You can also do this on the gas Blackstone griddle outside. I do have the bigger ones that I use outside, but it's cold again. Yesterday it was 60 degrees in Michigan. I think we hit records. It was like 70 at certain areas in Michigan. And today it's in the teens. So it is snowing, it is blowing, the schools were closed. And so I'm back to cooking inside. And a lot of you know that I don't like going outside to cook in the cold. So that's why I got my electric griddle so I can cook inside. So let's get started. I'm going to start cooking the onions. So I'm going to add a little bit of butter to the griddle. And so this, if you want to do like butter, if you want to do oil, you can. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to just kind of caramelize my onions. And so I'm just going to add it to the butter. And this sandwich is known for its caramelized onions. It's bread, using bread versus a bun. And the bread is toasted. So there's a couple of different characteristics with this. I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning to this. Not a lot, just a little. And toss it around in the butter. And then I'm just going to let this cook and just give it time to get that nice crispy, that golden brown color that it's known for. And while that's cooking, we're going to set this aside because I'm going to wait just a minute to do the smash burgers. Smash burgers are quick cooking. Last night I did the Reubens for my husband and my brother. And it's like, I don't like Reubens. I don't like they're good sandwich. They're really good. I love the way they look. I love the way they turn out. I am just not a fan of the flavor of them. So I ended up making myself some smash burgers, and I made my brother some smash burgers for him for lunch today. So that's what I had for dinner, and I just decided I'm going to make myself a patty melt. This recipe also reminds me of my mother. She would make this all the time growing up, and she loved fried onions, and she loved the toasted bread. So I'm just going to take and just butter my bread, softened butter, which is key with this recipe, and just do a light a light spread there. Like that. Flip it over and do that one, that side. So I can smell my onions cooking. You can hear them. They're sizzling on the griddle, which is exactly what you want. You know, I contemplated doing the griddle at 350 and I just decided, nah, this, you know, it'll help with the onions, get the onions nice and golden brown. And if you're using the outside griddle, you're going to want to do probably medium. That's what I used last night when I did my smash burgers and they turned out really good. So I can see some color going on my onions here, which is exactly what I want. Like that. And then just spread them out. That's one thing with this griddle. You know, you want to, don't do a big pile of them. Spread them out so that you make good contact with the griddle. Like all of it. Don't have a big mound because you won't get that brown color with it, that golden brown color that you want. So I'm going to do the smash burgers. Smash burgers, you don't need any grease on your griddle. I mean, if you want to, you can do a thin layer, but there is grease in your burger. They recommend doing an 80-20 burger combination, the burger, when you're doing smash burgers. That works fine. We like to do like 85 or 90-10 burger, and I've used that and I haven't had any problems. Either one has both worked out for me. I don't know if it's just the technique of cooking it that it just works out for me, or, you know, I know some people have problems with it, but this is what I do. So I have seasoned burger. I'm using the recipe that I have on my website. I have 4-ounce round balls that you do. And when I was doing it, I'm like, ew, that's just a little bit too big for me. So I'm using 2.5 ounces balls is what I'm using here. So I season the top of them. I'm going to flip it over like that. And then we're going to season. You want it spread out just a little bit because we're going to smash these. I'm going to wash my hands here. So my onions are looking really good. They're nice and brown there. I'm going to give it close up here. Hi, Dan. How are you? I kind of got cut short a little bit, and Dan has been cooking on the griddle. So I'm glad that he's been telling me what he's been cooking because I love hearing what you guys are making on your griddle. So I'm just going to season this side just a little bit. And you can do this afterwards too. I know some people will do it afterwards. I just like to do it because otherwise I'm going to forget. That's just me. I will forget. So parchment paper, this is key to doing this. So I just have just a small piece. I just ripped like a little bit because I used a piece of it yesterday. And then I have the today. So I'm going to smash it down, and you want it fairly thin. But you don't want thick and you don't want too thin. There's a happy medium there. So I'm going to smash it good. And sometimes you may need, you know, sometimes I'll use like this and to smash it. You can use a press if you have one. I don't have one. So I'm just doing, and there's like that. I think I'm going to go just a little bit thinner on that. It's not quite as thin as I want it to be. So I'm just going to thin it out just a little bit more. And the reason you're doing this is versus doing like just putting a patty on there is because when you do this, it adheres to the griddle. Smash it down really good. And if you need to look at it, see how it is. See, this part is thicker here and thinner here. So I'm going to thin this out just a touch. It's not too bad, but just a touch. There we go. And that to me looks pretty good. You can already see brown color around on it. So this is like cooking really quickly. So I'm going to mess with my onions because my onions are browning really good. This is exactly what I want. I want that nice golden brown color there. You don't want to see a lot of white when you're doing this. So you want to see golden brown there. So I'm going to flip these burgers. To me, they look like they're doing pretty good. And it is sticking to the griddle, which is fine. This is what I want. So I'm turning my spatula the other direction so I have a nice sharp, and I'm getting it off the griddle, and I'm not trying to struggle with trying to get it. That's where you'll break it apart. So you don't want to break it apart. You want a whole piece there. I'm going to go like that, flip it over. Look at that. Look how nice and golden brown. We got nice golden brown color, which is exactly what we want. Nice brown color on that one. I probably should have let that one go just a little bit longer because it was smashed. The time I didn't allow for the smashing, which it's okay. That's going to be fine. So the onions are cooking really good here. What does Dan have to say? He says he likes the parchment paper, likes using, that is key. That is really key with doing this is the parchment paper. Even if you're using a press, use parchment paper on that. Dan says he's doing salmon tonight on the griddle. I actually tried to get my husband to give me some fish. He's a fisherman, as everybody like in our area knows. He does. Oops, I got to get cheese on my burgers here before they get too far. So, because I don't want them to cook too much. And I'm actually going to do smaller pieces of cheese because these are kind of big for what I'm doing. And I don't want, if I would have probably used bigger burgers, but I can't eat that much. So I'm just doing the smaller burgers there. And we're going to let that cook for just a second. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do, let's get these on here. I forgot to put I should have did this like after I smashed the burgers. I should have gotten these on. So I'm kind of pressing down just a little bit to get them. These aren't going to take very long at all to cook. To get color there. I'm liking the way our onions are. Yeah, so Dan says he's doing salmon on the griddle. My husband will give me fish to do. It's like he is very stingy with fish. He cooks it the way he likes to cook it. He got some fish, and we ended up doing earlier today. He deep fried some chunks of it. And so that's what we had, like kind of more like a lunch is what we had earlier. And I'm going to pull these because the cheese isn't quite melted, but I know the burgers are done. I don't want the burger to get too done. So I'm pulling them off here, and I'm just going to set this here. That's going to melt as it's sitting here. And so I'm just going to check. I'm going to flip this around because see, this is griddle cooked and that side is not. And that's because remember I've talked about the griddle is hot on the middle, but not so much on the edge. So that's what that is. So just flip your bread around. So I have my onions. I'm actually going to take and pull them because I think the onions are done too. Look at that. Look how nice. I'm going to put that on the top there, just like that. And try to get them all. We got really good color. And with the onions, you might think, oh, that they're burnt, that. But the color gives you flavor. That's where you get some good flavor. And okay, I think I'm gonna nice golden brown there. We got some good color. Ooh, this one's really golden brown, like that. That's what we want. So I'm gonna shut off my griddle because I'm all done there. So I'm gonna just put together the sandwich really quick and get this out of the way so you guys can see. So I have I'm gonna turn so that the griddle part is down like that. I am going to take, I have my burger patties with the melted cheese and the burger there. Just set it right there on that. And so, like that. Look at that. Look at that patty melt. Nice double stacked smash burger. The smashed burger patty melt sandwich. Look how good that looks. Yummy, yummy. So we got the melted cheese. We've got the smashed burger patties. We've got the grilled onions in there. We have the crispy golden brown bread versus a bun. So this patty melt is done on bread and not on a bun. You can do it on a bun, but it's going to taste different. It's definitely going to taste different. But that's what a traditional patty melt is. Patty melt is done on toasted bread. So then you can add your favorite sauce. So you can serve this. This is really a restaurant quality sandwich that you can serve just like that. And you could put your topping on the side. I would, just put a little topping, serve it on the side, and boom. How long? That didn't take us very long at all. Let me check to see what time we're at. Yeah, like 16 minutes. And I did a little bit of talking at the beginning. And so 15 minutes, the sandwich is done. And if you have a bigger griddle, you can make a larger amount. Like I've done the whole griddle. Like you have a lot of sandwiches, take and do the onions first, toast your bread and set that aside, and then cook your burgers. And then assemble your sandwiches that way. But super, super easy. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this smashed burger patty melt sandwich, and I hope you guys make some. Show me pictures in the comments. I would love to see it if you make some. Show me pictures of you cooking on the griddle. Show me pictures of the finished product. I would love to see what you guys come up with. And Dan, I hope your salmon turns out awesome. The breakfast, I bet you was great yesterday. That is, what did we have? Pancakes. I think you had an assortment of different stuff, and all of it sounded delicious. I love breakfast at dinner time. But so I hope you guys have a great evening. I did get a few hearts today. Yay. And yeah, so okay, cookbook. So I have, if you're looking for different stuff to cook on the griddle, I do have my cookbook, Recipes for the Blackstone Griddle. You can go on my website, from Michigan to the table.com. I have in the top bar, it has Sherry's shop where you can go, or I forgot, like if you're looking on it on a mobile, it's going to be the 3 bars in the menu. So you click on that and that should pop up and you can get to that. Or you can go to mygriddlesecrets.com. I have all different griddle related stuff on there. And, I have my course on there. I have one-on-one coaching. I have, the digital cookbook. I have the printed cookbook. I have free printables. If you guys want, like free stuff where you can print up in like a temperature guide that you're not quite sure on different temperatures for stuff, I have that where you can print up. So go there, check it out. Sheila from Bear Lake. Yay, Sheila. Sheila hasn't been on very much, but she should be on quite a bit. She is from my hometown, Bear Lake, and I've known Sheila forever. She's been in my world for quite a long time. So Sheila, have you been cooking on your griddle? I know sometimes you're not quite sure. You might have it stored away for the winter. I did get mine out yesterday, which was awesome. So it was nice to be able to break it open and cook outside and really nice weather. So, but it was windy. That was the only thing. I was having issues with the wind, and I had to cook up against the house here. But when I watched the video, it's like you could see the reflection of outside in the window here, which was really awesome. So you guys kind of got to see the backdrop of our backyard. But So it's nice to see you, Sheila. I'm glad you got to come on, and I hope to see you guys more on here. I will be doing another video this week, and I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but we will come up with something for you. And I hope you guys have a great evening, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.